Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let me fix something here. Why am I not getting game sound? That's odd. Oh, maybe there isn't any right now. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna continue. I think I got the gear score I need to do the dungeon to continue the story. So let's queue it up for the dungeon finder. Yep, I do. Because I just did the twining the other day, which helped a little bit. Let's do the Grand Cosmos, because that's what the quest wants. I'll do it with a party instead of a trust, because hopefully it'll be easier. Looks better. Me and Shadows might end up working on trying to get some of the other expansion mounts. So like this was these are the Realm Reborn. The horses are Realm Reborn. I think cats or dogs or something are one of the other ones, and then you have birds is Stormblood, and I think dragons for this Shadowbringers. I could be wrong, but there's 6 mounts, and then you get those from dungeons as a chance for them to drop, and then you get a quest once you get all 6 for the 7th. Me and Shadows might end up running through those dungeons and trying to get some of the ones we haven't gotten yet. I'm probably only going to stream today for like an hour, maybe 2 at most. Technically I should still be sleeping because I have to work tonight into tomorrow morning. So but I ended up waking up at like 10 because I was super tired last night, so. You just need a healer. I guess I'll wait. So apparently they're doing free home world transfers right now. So if you want to transfer to another server, now is the time to do it. Especially if you want to be with your friends playing. That's a lovely way to start it off. They did say these guys would be hostile from the get, so. So this guy is gonna be ballsy. Hell yeah. Whoop that ass. Alright, let's fuck this dude up. The hell? Thank you. Now that was a lovely start. Fucking brooms. Hey, take care, Parrot Head. Thanks for being here, dude. have sold these halls long enough. Come, Lucas. Our guests yet want more company. It does look like hair's in, not gonna lie. Well, shit. The fuck? Hmm. Definitely interesting fight mechanics, so you gotta like use the different fires to destroy like set pieces. That's it.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Oh, it's one of those dudes.
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought. You wish only to save your friends? Nothing more? Do you swear it?
No. No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
There you are. Others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Becklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with him. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Orange shared his knowledge of the new Mao with us. Had he not, Becklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry to keep our guests waiting. Would only add insult to injury. We mustn't delay any longer, Angelus. If Becklug is to hear the truth of our travels, her travails in the first, you of all people should be present.
sorry? You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Alright. Hit me. You know, I forgot to do something. I forgot to share this out. I'm like, why is there nobody here? Alright. Oh yeah, I want to check something else too, real quick. Why is it not putting that in there? Wrong button. You have spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to their world? To your world? Wait, Arosite, you say, an intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to your souls within the Arosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would render our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw aid from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of aether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from their fox bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which would be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted, stagnant. Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why do you think you might be able to help them? I might or might not, but I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. I will see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Yaranje in creating the requisite Arosite. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beglug as necessary? Let us make for Amarang then. So this is Holric, is it? Yes. His etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Toward stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a Sin Eater. You don't know that we've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Holric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patient. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sake, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Toden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal aether. Their incorporeal aether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by their tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his patience, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. I suppose the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Velbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labor. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been My greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. I know that only too well. Alas, the knowledge required is steeped in such bitter memories. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal aether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I could call it an exercise in futility, but now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the aether revitalizing magics we will ultimately implore. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as the fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you've convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients find. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine, we'll pay a visit to my Meg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the Naomao of Plaani. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for your needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Clay from the Amarang would likely be the best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist you? Ah, yes, they would be able to point you in the right direction, I am sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. Nice, Apollo. You're gonna be at 1,000 in no time, dude. That's awesome, dude. Awesome. Angelus, well, what a coincidence. You come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to the Nabath Orang. Charlie was in trouble, but the Talos could have been another matter. Had we not had a visit from Master Shai, he offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Dead Alice Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man that Chai knows. He seemed pretty keen on the idea I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant Charlie, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Angelus here didn't come all the way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Crap you, Google, for messing up my words. I hate Google. I see in this, and familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Buran mines to make audible bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. But I haven't been making outfit videos. I'm waiting for Operation Motherland for Breakpoint. When it comes out, I'll make more outfits. Hopefully they will add a bunch of clothing. That'd be cool. have Ghost Recon 2 theme on my texting board. It looks lit. I'm a hardcore Ghost Recon fan. Nice, dude. I never really got into Ghost Recon. Twins have returned in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixie would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of setting upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Becklog, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skills, yes. Yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you could be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plenty more familiar with these people than I dare say are a few in all of Northern more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Angelus? Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. I'll give you my all for Halric, for Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. LSA shall be the one to conjure the familiar. I do have a PC, that's what I'm using right now.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Fucking
yes,
Alvin,
I know artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now, as I talk to you,
That's funny.
and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
I can only imagine, Apollo. I can only imagine what you would do in this game.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Spider Pig. I name it Spider Pig.
Mother,
Okay, so it was a boy that was afflicted by the Death Eater's touch. Basically or Sin Eater's touch. So the Sin Eaters could like afflict people and then they would turn into Sin Eaters, and he's like was in the process of turning. But since we restored the darkness to the since we destroyed the light, they kind of gone into this docile thing. So they're like mind and soul is fine, but their mind is fine, but their soul is like they can't interact with their body. So it's like they go into this like hibernation kind of thing. So they're not that they're hibernating, but they're basically like in a coma because of their body has basically been afflicted with this stuff. and we're trying to restore it. Also trying to find a way to bring all my friends back to the source. Their bodies are in the source. The bodies they have now are like fox bodies. They're not actually real bodies. They're not their real selves. How is he, Buglug? Did it work? I believe it did, and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if it weren't so exhausted. If I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering this magic, ask much of the Invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the ultimate confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening, and I will not need time to put my theories to the proof. But I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect that it is to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Azurite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Buglug said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body. That's a person becomes incapable of interacting with the worlds around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of the most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in the handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can cast this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gabu? Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was sufficed with the earth aspect aether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? I see, his condition does sound familiar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is a delicate work we do here. Work requires patience, requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patience here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend the time in idleness. If it is all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you could return to the Crystarium with Buglug and see if you can make some headway with their newly posted theories. Hey, runner, what's up? I would tell you to rest, but I see you are not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I found you. Hey. Oh, hey, it's that dude. Gosh, sure. What are you doing all the way out here? That's the trouble. Back in Ilmor, Lady Chai is beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begging me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Becklug. Ooh, I need to actually finish. I need to play through Gears 5. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yomor is at stake. Nice. Lady tries up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting, eh? Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, though. I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. Jeez. What about the bunny chicks? There's a bunny chick. What about that? Does that do it for you? No? Don't like bunny chicks? Here's a human. There's a female human. There's a cat person. I believe these are both female or both humans. What do we got here? There you go. Frog person. Actually, it's a costume, whatever they're wearing. I don't know. Here's a bunny chick too. But no bunny. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a bunny. I like her armor. That's pretty cool. What about the elf chicks? Oh, there's those dude, the demon dudes too. There's an elf chick. Yeah, there's an elf. There's one of the Anra or whatever they're called, the dragon people. But the biggest part of the game is populated by cat people.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He's more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
She probably does like Friskies.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than
I
all
love
the
cats.
world, and he will
I have a
return.
cat.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Good. Makes no sense that Master Chai to have left without a word. But even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Master Shy, why yes, I spoke with him recently. I thought I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about Yomor's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Valthyri's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our business were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assure Master Tri that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yomor, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. In exchange with Mauen has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Yomor. Oh, nice. I don't have a new Xbox. I need to get one at some point. Look for Master Shy, are you? Looking for Master Shy, are you? Is something amiss? When I last saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while, but his concerns over the city's defenses amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after their confrontation with Lord Valthyri, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the Derelict and Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yomor, you see, but the surrounding regions of Colcia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on the note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Exchange with Kareen has taught you about the perilous state of Yomor's defenses. Other way. Awesome. Yeah, the GameStop by me, they get them in, but they only get the digital version. So it's like, why do I care about I don't want the digital, I want the physical version. So it's just like, is it really worth it? I recall a man fitting that description. I asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the Derelict, and you can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When we heard that, he started mumbling to himself something about funding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. It looked like he had headed for Gate Town when I last saw him. Hmm. Yeah, it is nice. If I get any of the new systems, it'll be an Xbox first, just because it can backwards compatible all my 360 stuff and Xbox One stuff, so it's like a no-brainer. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yomar, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got a big plan for the place, you know what I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yomor, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical that, having counseled those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Angelus, if you could go and make inquiries in Right, I shall do likewise in Stiltide, Gate Town. I leave you, to you, Kreischer. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to be the next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then. But if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Nice. Hopefully the story is good. 4 was kind of a letdown. I haven't played 5 yet, so I own 5, I just haven't gotten a chance to play it. No, the name doesn't ring a bell, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Right and Yomor, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of a meal and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Valkyrie thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Valkyrie's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yomor in his absence. That's what I told your friend. Chai knows, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after that. And that was that. Oh, nice. Yeah, because it upscales them to look, or it like runs them at the best quality that they could have been on in the system, which is awesome. Yeah, it's an understatement. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Kaiser, and I gleaned much the same. He seemed determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Colsea, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. Kind of sucks. That's just weird, because in 5 you play as Baird, or not Baird's son, Mercer's son, or whatever his name is. Phoenix, or what is his name? Shit, I forget. Marcus. You play as Marcus's son in 4, I thought. Angelus, Alpha Node, guys here. What are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We have been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai had been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea into her head, sigh, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and for what we have gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Kilsea. That much is true, but I am no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe that said resources can be found here? Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such foresight is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. If you need, you can count on us. That's dumb. Yeah, Judgment. I have Judgment. I have 1, 2, and 3. I have 4 and 5. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got the actions to speak. Your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, aside of paying Master Alphanode, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mountain Gold, didn't you? How hard could marrying be? You're going to steer Leomar to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come, then let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yomar needs more than a man with good intentions. Which is why I'm here. To find one with the expertise needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? And are you certain he's here in Amity? Brennan is his name, and yes he is. Or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Valther's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor right now, mayor's right hand, one might say Raiden was the left, and between them they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. Didn't even need to do. What makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on the reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal, then, as I recall you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to you. That's right, there's a wind-up Albert now. Greetings, friend, and to you too, Master Chai. I presume you are here to ask after Rendon. I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Valther's gone, Yomar wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Redden's counsel in the hopes that he could build a better Yulmore together. That we could build a better Yulmore together. And that is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Valther's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Redden can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and a little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. You desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. Look at that lady. There you go. There's your big elf lady there, Apollo. Got a nice long dress on and everything for you. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmar's past, is quite admirable, but I fear that the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes and the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying. He sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive. Commit to this course and prove to him Yulmar has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer, nay, not even a maybe. Here's a cat lady. It's a dancer.
Well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Forthry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Forthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmor. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Forthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Forthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmor can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. Seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I'd rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems. But first, I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problem you are now face. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes, meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option. I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence perhaps. So tell me, what do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer and I will consider offering you my counsel. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would offer us time to address the underlying problem that affects us and a long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that offer service as a source of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee secretary and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of that all by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the people of Vilmore and the nearby settlements. You've impressed me, China's. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you have secured my support just yet. You haven't secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Raiden. One that which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos, but Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plan could be put into effect. Well, as the heir of Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need to no time at all. Rendon is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have, which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Colsea. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at top rung. Come with me. The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with the actually potent insulating powder capable of halting the growth of Aether and Talos. We need only get within throwing distance and one of them and let fly. Thus disabling them without damaging them ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it would be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Yomor. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this was where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I have said before, it is high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off, Master Chai. Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 100 out there, and one other thing's out there waiting to make a meal of you. That as may be, Kaishir, but Rendon tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained scheme realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say that the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I'm to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Shai. You're here. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intention of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kaishir says, these lands are dangerous. If one is not careful, I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the Talos. Understood? Good. Then let's be off to the quick way through the north gate and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. Right. Damn it. I did it. I did it. Let me move on to another tile, shall we? I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Angelus. Aha, that should do it. We have all we need to proceed. I can seriously believe it. It was reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Shy, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Yomar's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is a plan your time at the Dallas Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, and evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Yomor. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics, which is why I would ask you to join me and grant Yomor the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Yomor's leadership is at last in the capable hands. Would you not agree? We should be properly getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai is worried sick.
Right then, form a line and make for Yomor.
What's that noise? Wicked wife! Runaway Talos! Call the guard! Stay back! All of you!
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see...
Dearest, I can't...
Oh! Oh dear.
Thank you.
The hell?
Sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how wonderful!
Please!
That was quite a reception. One Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Neilmore, it will be that much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. No need to fret, Angelus. I have never felt better. Cough. And not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Yomor. As for where to do it, if we're to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Then I will go and spread the word among the citizens, both free and bounded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Kaishir, was it? Would you go and inform the residents of Gaytown and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good, lad. I will let the guards know not to bar the way to Valthry's chambers. It goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend. Assume he's available. Might as well see you through to the bitter end, eh? The doorman at the Crown Lift will show you up. Ah, yes, Mr. Chai told me to expect you. The immersion is already filling up with people of all the persuasions, free and bounded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guests of honor, we have reserved this place at the front. Right this way, sir.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Yulmore to look around? It is a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Forthry's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Yulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Vorthry. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Yulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vorthry must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Yulmore should become. Whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength for Yulmore!
Alright. Now that was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stir them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all of this, it is A change begins with the individual. 'Tis but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming the fellow Amorian can, it shall be my honor and privilege to help them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all of these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the emergent, dearest. It's too big, for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and we will govern here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes, of course, sir. Haven Bet. Aye, that's me. I liked your speech, but there's folks outside these walls as don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you've planned to change that, I want to help set things in motion. Then we've much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Angelus. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Yomar's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence that they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So, Alphinaud is leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about that, what I should do in all this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better is taking its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. The Yomarn of the people, Master Chai has been going on about it, ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and the friends will find a way to make a difference, though. Help keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well then, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit, just a matter of taking the first step. Truly to see Kai Shear, thus inspired by our action, is inspiring in itself. Yet somehow much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Yomor. We have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Baglug's studies have borne fruit in our absence. Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Yomor. Indeed, our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and after some considerable soul searching, chose to accept the post. It is a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fare you in preparing the White Acerite? Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Acerite was ill-suited for our purpose. But Your Honor Jay, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Assi, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with big looks and valuable insight, 'twould indeed proceed a trifling matter. Were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul, a link which we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Aurosite doth require. The shedding of these fleshly simulacra and the surfeit of aether which comprises them would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel our minds into an Acerite instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your soul in the process, which is why we have abandoned that plan and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. Then we are no closer to the solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Archive's posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussion turned to the transference of memories in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Angelus, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and I? I speak of the royal eye of Allegan, imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and the memories of the ancient Allegans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the crystal tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allegans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. That is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Angelus turn to the source and inform Krile and the others of our findings. Agreed. I imagine Tataru will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I will beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred and Reen, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Give our regards to Tataru, won't you? Angelus, you're back. How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Krile will be here shortly, and she'll want to hear too. So she's just tending to the others, their bodies. I mean, gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. Upon speaking with Tataru, several cutscenes will play in sequence. If it is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Sounds good.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Hell yeah. Stinian.
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin? After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead. But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos Ye Galvus. Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead. This sent Gaius into a rage, and he charged in, blade drawn. What's wrong?
I've seen him in his actions, his body at least. You will not beast him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. For what good it will do? The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suggest this might suffice. Or I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Hello. Yeah, fuck that dude up. Oh shit, what? I don't know what that means, but it's not good. Ah, the simple pleasure of one's own flesh. Truly there is no place like home. abomination. Whatever he is, Angelus was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer. Emperor Varus, your Radiance, are you alright? We may wear out our welcome. Your Radiance, no. Sigh, must even the most middling of sport be spoiled. The world conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos. Oh, this fucker. Little bitch. Hell yeah. Fuck him up. Well, any bright ideas? Just one. Ah! Your Radiance. The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Oh, someone's been busy. Arc Ultima, holy shit. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidog, lend me your strength. Garleans and their mech machina. Now where are you, Gaius?
Are you all right?
Peer into my past, did you?
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray. Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
Then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riol and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Becklug can manage without you. You've got enough science to help them, if you ask me. Meanwhile, in Garlemald, traitors, you would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne? Ah! Onward, before this day is done, victory shall be ours. Boring, boring, boring. Do you think I find it amusing, like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse? That Hugh, your soul is, who are you? Before your majesty, I am not another dog lost in want of the new master. A hunting dog, if you would wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiac. Meanwhile, in Yulmore, in the first. Did you hear the mayor's reopening Deadlift Stoneworks and they're looking for laborers? There's talks of wrestling some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free talents to help anyone willing to make the move. Free talents, huh? We'd best get packing. Steady work, board and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Hope. The hell? Yeah, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. The fuck? How is he alive? It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. Angelus, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal aether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete its work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Maxima. Angelus. It has been far too long, my friend. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador, I remain here in Orzia under the auspices of commanding Aldine, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Yes, I've heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You said you have urgent news? Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Almagan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Aldine has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Signs attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extended this invitation. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending his meeting alone. Though I am not as well versed in the affairs of the city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single sign with all this. Yes, of course. Then we must make for Almagan Quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Oh, I'm gonna teleport here, and then I'm gonna call it, and this will be a good place to kind of wrap up. I want to thank Apollo for being here, Runner, Parrot Head at the start. Thanks for being here, guys. Much appreciated. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you're watching on the replay. And thanks for being here. I hope you guys all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later.